If you work for the city of Richmond, you have 2 weeks left to get vaccinated against COVID-19, or you could lose your job. Good evening, I'm Candace Burns.
And I'm Bill Fitzgerald. Meanwhile, the deadline has already passed for state employees to show proof or opt for testing. So, how many of those workers are complying? Our Cameron Thompson breaks it all down for us tonight. Cam?
Yeah, Bill, the governor says for the state mandate there have been no issues with compliance, while for the city, the mayor says there are only a few dozen who could be facing that final threat on October 1st.
With a final deadline to comply of October 1st, Richmond Mayor LeVar Stoney says vaccination rates among the roughly 3,600 city workers outpaces the city's general population.
So 74% are fully vaccinated, 10% are partially vaccinated, and they are on track to meet our October 1 deadline for all of them to be fully vaccinated.
Stoney says another 10% have been approved for exemptions, predominantly religious, and will undergo weekly testing, while another 10% are currently on family, medical, or military leave. A few weeks ago, 15% of workers were considered non-compliant and faced an early September 1 deadline to comply. Stoney says that number has dropped to only 30 workers total, and they are on unpaid leave and could be fired.
We believe that the health and welfare of our employees is of utmost priority, but also the health and welfare of the people that we interface with in our community.
September 1st was also the start date for Governor Ralph Northam's mandate to roughly 122,000 state workers to either get vaccinated or tested weekly. Talking Wednesday, Northam says while he doesn't have an exact breakdown of how many are in each category, there have been no issues with non-compliance.
I think everybody that I know of is being compliant with either being vaccinated or being tested.
Meanwhile, the state continues to prepare for possible COVID-19 booster shots as early as next week. If okay, Dr. Melissa Ferre says at the local level, Richmond and Henrico Health District vaccine events will require appointments for boosters, but allow walk-ups for first-timers.
This lets us both manage, any flux that might happen, any upswings or downswings in demand.
Now, there are several federal committees and agencies that need to sign off on boosters before it can actually begin in the U.S., including an FDA committee that is set to meet on Friday.